it is better, the best of the best, coming at you with some revision advice, which probably isn't the best of the best. I'm not really that self-centered. My revision tips are probably mediocre, but I can tell you how to go from average GCSEs to good AS grades. I don't know about A-level grades because I haven't done them yet, but I went from like okay GCSEs to like full UMS AS grades, so kind of helpful. Yeah, so I got straight A's at AS and I averaged at about above 90 UMS. As like an education background, all my A-levels are essay based, so it's history, English literature and philosophy. Philosophy is an all-day level, so the AS counted, history and English aren't. History was a debt cell and the other two were OCR. I'm going to go through some general tips to revise, and then I'm going to do more specific how I revise. My general tips are, my first one is don't go on your phone while revising, okay? And an easy way to do this, and guarantee that you do this, is letting your phone die before you go to sleep, because you then have to wait for it to charge whilst you like wake up. So the good thing to do is let your phone die and then put it on charge when you wake up. While you're waiting for it to charge, start revising. So like get ready, then put your phone on charge, so you can't charge it while you're getting ready and then go on it. So get ready, brush your teeth, have a shower, eat some breakfast, go to a desk, get all your work down, then put your phone on charge, not in your room, start revising, wait for your phone to get to 100%, and then by that time you can have like a 10-minute break and you're already in the mood to revise, so you're less likely to get distracted by your phone. That's just a really easy way to avoid getting distracted by your phone. Obviously you can just put it in your room, like outside your room, but I know me, I will go and get it sometimes. So yes, that is a good way to avoid distractions. Number 2 is don't be demotivated by your mock grades. Obviously you should take them into account and you should look at your mock grades and look what you didn't do so well on and work on improving that, but don't be like, I got a D in my mock, I'm going to get a D in my exam, like my real exam. So for GCSE I got a D in history, like in the mock. December year 11 mock I got a D in history. Ended up with A stars in the exams. I got an A overall just because my coursework was a B, but I got A stars in the exams. So you're gonna put a lot more work in between then and now. You know what you need to improve. Your mind improves, like your capability of your mind improves dramatically in 6 months. So you're going to improve a lot academically and like mentally between those 6 months, and you are going to go up grades. As long as you revise and put the work in and do what you need to do, you're going to definitely improve. So do not be demotivated by mock grades. Like, don't worry. You're going to be fine, okay? Just don't let your mock grades demotivate you, because at the end of the day, they're mocks. They don't matter. Teachers tell you they matter, and they do in the sense that you can look at what you need to improve and improve, but they don't matter in the sense that they determine what you're going to get in the real thing, because they're not. Your teachers aren't marking it. You're going to have extra months of revision and you're going to have an improved brain. So scientifically, you're going to do better. Don't be demotivated because your friend got an A in the mock and is doing no work and you're like, well, they're going to get an A, because that doesn't mean they are, okay? That doesn't mean they're going to get an A just because they got an A in the mock. So don't be demotivated by where you were 6 months ago and where your friends were 6 months ago, because it doesn't matter. It was 6 months ago, it's gone. As long as you have worked on that, you're going to do better. Okay, another tip, I'm just going to do 3. Another tip is, you may be stressed, but that shows you care. The more stressed you are, as ridiculous as it sounds, the better you're probably going to do. Because you're stressed enough that you're working. You're stressed enough that you care and you're dedicated to learning in your subject. Otherwise you wouldn't be stressed. If you don't care and if you didn't put the work in, you wouldn't be stressed. You wouldn't be stressed in September if you didn't care, okay? So if you're stressed, I know it sucks. I know it sucks to be stressed. But it shows that you care. It shows that you're going to do well because you care enough about your subject to be stressed over it. Now I'm going to go through ways that I revise because I find it helpful to get some tips off people. I start off with a textbook. This is my philosophy textbook and I summarise it. So I go, here is a page a double spread and I summarise it onto a post-it note. So when I'm going back to revise, I have a brief idea of what is going on. So for example, this is all about Plato, so I go, these are Plato's beliefs in life after death, and then I can go, this is Aristotle's, and then you have it summarised. So then when you go on to make cue cards and mind maps and memorise it, it's all in one little cue card that you can just pay attention to. And then I make sure I have a set of detailed notes that encompasses my textbook and my class notes. So I have everything together, and then I can just make all my other revision resources out of these. So then those notes I made get summarised into cue cards. This is all my paper 2 history, so I know it looks like a lot, but it's not. So I just have all these so I can know, and then they're all colour coded. So this is blue, so this is politics and economics. Then this is green, so it's living standards, and orange, so it is welfare. Cue cards, handy, because you can just flip through these the afternoon before the exam and you have a brief summarisation. Then these get turned into mind maps. You just need to keep summarising your information until it's condensed in an easy form that you can remember. I have this massive thing that I regret so much. This is full of my revision, but it's so heavy that I should have just not bothered. So this is an example of one of my mind maps. It looks cramped, that's just the way I work. It has the title in here and then like mini themes, so I can just easily look at it and go, oh, this happened here. Yep. So this was the economic impact of the First World War. I can tell it's the First World War by the fact it's purple. Also in this, I have any essays that I've done well in, so any like A star grade essays that I can then look back on, summarise into essay plans, so if the essay ever came up in an exam, I would know what to write and hopefully recreate that A grade. Right. Then I go on to essay plans. I have mine on my tablet because by the end of Easter my arm hurt too much that I was just like, I can't write anymore, so I just moved on to doing essay plans on my tablet, which is fine. And then I'm going to print them off, highlight them, and try and to memorise at least some of them. You can do these for the old A-levels. I would suggest for the new A-levels looking up ones that were on the same book from old specs, asking your teacher if they have any suggestions which would come up, and using ones that were on, if you're in year 12 now, you will have the year 13 ones, or you could use the spec ones. So there are one, we only had one and we weren't allowed to look at it beforehand because it would be our mock one. But for philosophy it's the old A-level, so I've done like 40 essay plans. But for the new one I would definitely ask your teacher to make you up some, but that would only be a few. Try and make some up yourself, I know that's hard, but look at keywords that are in across the ones that you have and try and find ones for your old book because they will be similar and you're still putting the skills into practice. So these are my philosophy ones. I just have the introduction and then brief things in what I would write in every paragraph. I would definitely say the most important thing about essay-based subjects is making sure you can apply it, because it's well enough known the content, but if you can't write a good essay you're not going to get the A grade, and I think that's definitely the difference between GCSE and A-levels. GCSE you just need to know the content, at A-level you definitely need to know how to write an essay, so essay practice at A-level is the most important thing. Once I've done all of that, there's a siren. I will get a notebook and just write everything I think I need to know. So these are just statistics, dates, facts, legislations, names, key studies that you can just refer into your essay to support your argument. So I'll try and condense a whole paper worth of notes into about 5 pages. So then before the exam you can just read through, highlight, try and memorise as much as you can, being overwhelmed by so many notes. So that's what I do to revise. You just have to remember that as long as you've tried your best, you've done your best. You couldn't have done any better, so you should be proud of whatever you've done. And also, it will be such a relief doing all this hard work and then being able to enjoy your summer and enjoy your free time, because it will feel like free time rather than if you just slack off your exams. Like, what's the difference? So I would definitely like say, if you're stressed, keep going, because you're going to get there. You're dedicated, you're committed, you're going to get there. As long as you have the motivation, there's nothing stopping you. So yeah. Thank you. This was Valda. I'm a loser. Don't subscribe to me because I suck. Bye.